Story 1. I still don't know why I looked at the clock that night. 17 a.m. glowed red on my phone, and the room felt too heavy, like someone had turned the air thick. My wife, Lena, was already sitting up beside me. "Do you hear that?" she whispered. I did. A soft, steady breathing. In, out. In, out. Slow and patient, coming from inside the wall behind our headboard. We had lived in this little house for 2 years and never heard the pipes do anything except clank when the hot water came on. This wasn't pipes. This was lungs. We lay frozen, pretending to sleep, hoping it would stop. It didn't. It just kept breathing with us, matching every breath we took. When I held my breath, it held too. When Lena sighed, it sighed a half-second later, wet and sticky like someone breathing through a soaked cloth. I reached for the lamp. Click. Light did nothing. The sound crawled out of the bedroom and followed us into the hallway. In, out, louder now, rattling. We tried the living room, the kitchen, even the bathroom, with the door locked. Wherever we went, the breathing was already there, waiting inside the walls. Lena started crying quietly. "It knows we're moving," she said. At some point, we gave up running and stood in the middle of the kitchen, holding each other. The sound was everywhere, thick, phlegmy, almost chewing the air. I don't know what made me do it. Maybe I wanted proof we weren't crazy. But I walked back to the bedroom, pressed my ear against the drywall, and listened. The breathing stopped. Then, so close I felt the wall vibrate. A low voice dragged itself across the plaster. "Ja'ake," my name, but said on an exhale, like it was being breathed out of someone else's dying lungs. Lena grabbed my arm and put her own ear to the wall. Her eyes went wide. "Lena!" The voice sighed, perfectly timed with her breathing. We stumbled away, hearts hammering so loud I was scared the thing could copy those too. We didn't sleep. We sat on the couch with every light in the house burning, waiting for morning. Around 6, the breathing faded. Just stopped. The silence felt worse, like the house was holding its breath now. Lena spoke first. "I feel weird." "Me too," I said. My chest felt scooped out, echoing. When I breathed in, the air went too deep, too easy, like there was extra room inside me that hadn't been there yesterday. We avoided the bedroom all day. We drank coffee, stared at nothing, jumped at every creak. Night came again too fast. At 3:17 a.m., exactly, I woke up. Not from a sound, from the feeling of being watched. Lena was already awake. Her eyes were huge. "Listen," she whispered. I did. Nothing. No breathing. The house was dead quiet. Then I felt it. A soft push inside my ribs, like something testing the space. In, out, slow and patient. My lungs moved by themselves. I tried to hold my breath and couldn't. Something else was doing it for me. Lena's hand found mine. She was breathing too, deep, wet, perfectly in time with me. But her lips were closed. Her chest barely rose. The sound was coming from inside her, just like it was coming from inside me. We stared at each other in the dark, breathing together, unable to stop. And from the bedroom wall, so faint only we could hear it now, came the softest laugh, relieved, happy, full. Whatever had been inside the walls wasn't there anymore. It was inside us. And it finally had all the room it needed. Story 2. I'm going to tell you something that still steals my sleep, but you have to promise to listen until the end. It started with tiny bare feet running across the upstairs hall when the house should have been dead quiet. The first night, I thought it was Mia, our 6-year-old. She'd been having nightmares, so we let her crawl into our bed most nights. Mark and I woke to the soft pad outside our door, quick little steps, like someone playing tag with themselves. We smiled at each other in the dark. "She'll come in when she's ready," I whispered, but she never did. The running just stopped, and Mia stayed curled between us, breathing warm against my arm. That happened every night for a week. Same time, around 2 in the morning. Pad, 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 giggle, pad, pad, pad. Silence. We checked the hallway every time. Nothing. No toys on the floor, no open windows, no Mia. She was always right there, squeezed between us, eyes shut tight, sometimes trembling. On the 4th night, she started talking in her sleep. "Go away," she'd whisper. "That's my room. That's my mommy." Mark and I told each other it was just dreams. Kids say strange things. We held her closer. By the 7th night, we were exhausted. The footsteps were louder, faster, like the little runner was excited. Mia refused to sleep in her own bed at all anymore. She clung to us, saying, "The other little girl keeps wearing my nightgown and sitting on my pillow. She says she's waiting for you to mix us up." We laughed it off in the daylight. At night, we didn't laugh. Last night, the running started again, but this time it didn't stop at the hallway. The tiny feet came right up to our bedroom door, paused, then stepped inside. The floorboards didn't creak. Somehow that was worse. I felt the air change, like a child had slipped into the room and was standing very still. I opened my eyes. There she was. Mia stood at the foot of our bed in her pink pajamas, hair messy from sleep, staring at us with huge eyes. Moonlight from the window lit her face perfectly. She looked scared. "Sweetie," I croaked. "What's wrong? Come here." She didn't move. She just kept staring, lips trembling. Mark sat up too. "Mia, baby, you're sleepwalking. Come back to bed." Still nothing. She lifted one small hand and pointed behind her, toward the open doorway. That's when we heard it, the softest whisper coming from the dark hall. "Mommy, Daddy, there's someone in my room pretending to be me." The voice was Mia's, exactly Mia's, sweet, high, a little raspy from a week of crying herself to sleep, but the little girl at the foot of our bed hadn't opened her mouth. Mark lunged for the lamp. Light flooded the room. The child standing there smiled, too wide, too many teeth, and took one step backward into the shadows. Her bare feet made no sound. In less than a second she was gone, melted into the hallway like she'd never been there at all. Mia, the real Mia, was still in bed with us. She sat up screaming, pointing at the empty space where the other one had stood. "That's her," she wailed. "That's the one who keeps trying to take my place." Mark grabbed the baseball bat from the closet. I scooped Mia into my arms, and we ran to her bedroom, hearts smashing against our ribs. Her room looked normal. Bed made. We hadn't touched it in days. Toys in their box, window locked. But the closet door was open just a crack. A sliver of darkness stared back at us. Mark yanked it wide. Inside, hanging neatly on a tiny hanger, was the exact same pink pajama set Mia was wearing. Only this one was wet, dripping slowly onto the carpet, like someone had just climbed out of a bath, fully dressed. Little wet footprints led from the closet to the spot under the bed. We never found the other nightgown's owner. We sleep with every light on now. Mia refuses to let go of both our hands, even to use the bathroom. Sometimes, in the middle of the night, we still hear it. Quick, happy barefoot, running across the upstairs hall. And every time, from somewhere inside the walls or under the floor, our real daughter's voice whispers, "She's getting better at looking like me. Soon, you won't know which one to keep. I'm terrified that one morning we'll wake up and only one Mia will be in our bed, and we'll have no idea if we chose right." Story 3. Listen, if your TV ever turns on by itself, don't look at the screen. Just unplug it. Promise me. I'm telling you this because 3 nights ago, ours started doing it too. Me and Sarah, we're 28. We live in a small apartment on the 4th floor. No kids, no pets, just us and a cheap 55-inch smart TV we bought last Black Friday. Nothing fancy. We fall asleep to Netflix most nights and that's it. The first night it woke us, the screen glowed blue at exactly 2:44 a.m. Some nature documentary about jellyfish was playing with the volume low. We laughed, blamed a power surge, went back to sleep. Second night, same time, 2:44 a.m. sharp. This time it was static, loud enough to make Sarah sit straight up. I grabbed the remote, dead batteries. I had to walk over and press the power button on the TV itself. When my finger touched it, the screen went black for half a second, then showed the Netflix homepage like nothing happened. Third night, last night, we were ready. We unplugged the TV from the wall before bed. Cord out, no power, no way it could turn on. We even took a picture to prove it. At 2:44 a.m., the room lit up blue again. The TV was on. Sarah screamed. I jumped out of bed so fast I nearly broke my toe on the dresser. The screen wasn't showing Netflix or static. It was showing our bedroom. Live. From above, like a security camera was stuck in the corner where the ceiling meets the wall. We could see ourselves perfectly. Sarah sitting up in bed, clutching the blanket. Me standing there in my boxers, mouth open, staring up at the TV. We both looked at that corner at the same time. Nothing was there. No camera, no wires, just smooth white paint. I told Sarah to stay on the bed while I grabbed a chair. I stood on it, ran my hands over every inch of that corner. Cold wall. Nothing. But on the screen, the version of me on the chair kept searching, moving exactly like I was moving. We spent the whole day hunting for the camera, took the TV off the wall, checked vents, light fixtures, smoke detectors. We even called the building manager. He laughed and said no one's been in our unit. By evening we were exhausted and half convinced we'd dreamed it. Tonight we didn't sleep. We sat on the couch with the lights on, staring at the blank, unplugged TV. Midnight passed. 1 o'clock. 2:44 a.m. The screen woke up by itself again. Same angle, but this time it showed us asleep in bed. Both of us. Sarah's head on my chest, my arm around her, exactly how we usually sleep. The timestamp in the corner read 2:43 a.m. 1 minute ago, we were looking at a recording of ourselves from 60 seconds in the past. Then it became live. On the screen, Sarah's eyes snapped open. She looked around the room, scared. My body stayed still. Screen. Sarah sat up slowly and stared straight up at the invisible camera. She raised one hand and waved, tiny, like a child saying hello. Real Sarah grabbed my arm so hard her nails dug in. "That's not me," she whispered. "I'm right here." I couldn't speak. On the TV screen, Sarah slipped out of bed, walked to the dresser, and opened the top drawer, the one where I keep my work knives from the restaurant. She pulled out the biggest one, tested the edge with her thumb, and smiled. Real Sarah started crying. "Turn it off, please turn it off." I lunged for the plug, still not connected, then for the power button on the TV. My hand froze. On the screen, the version of me finally moved. He sat up slowly, turned his head all the way toward the hidden camera, and smiled the widest smile I've ever seen. His eyes were black, completely black, no whites at all. Real me was still standing by the TV, breathing hard, alive. The me on the screen opened his mouth and said something. No sound came out, but I read the lips perfectly. Soon. The screen went black. We haven't slept. We're sitting in the kitchen now with every light on, knives on the table, waiting for morning. The bedroom door is locked from the outside. We don't know what's in there wearing our faces. Whatever you do, if your TV turns on at 2:44 a.m., don't wait for night 4. We're on night 4. Story 4. Come closer. I need to tell you this while the kids are still asleep upstairs. If someone you love who's already dead asks to come in, never, ever open the door. It started exactly 7 nights ago. We're a normal family. Me, Tom, our son Leo, who's 10, and our daughter Ava, who just turned 7. Our house is old, creaky, but safe. Or so we thought. The first night the knocks woke us at midnight. 3 slow ones. Knock, 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 like someone using their whole fist. Tom checked the peephole. Nothing. I looked at the doorbell camera on my phone. Empty porch, wind moving the leaves, that's all. We told the kids it was a prank and went back to bed. Same thing the next night. And the next. Midnight on the dot. 3 knocks. No one there. By night 4, we stopped bothering to look. We just lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, waiting for it to be over. The kids started sleeping in our room. Leo said the knocks sounded polite but angry. Ava carried her stuffed rabbit everywhere and whispered to it like it could protect her. Night 7. Last night. We were all in our bed, lights off, pretending to sleep. Midnight came. Knock, 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 same rhythm. But then a voice followed, soft, cracked, exactly like Nana Rose, who died 2 winters ago. Tom, honey, let me in. I'm so cold. My husband went white. Nana Rose used to call him honey every single time she saw him. She died of pneumonia. The last thing she ever said to me on the phone was, "It's so cold in here, Claire." Tom stumbled to the window. The camera showed the empty porch again. No footprints in the light snow. Nothing. Another 3 knocks. Louder. "Let your Nana in, babies. I brought cookies." Ava started crying into her rabbit. Leo's eyes were huge. Then the knocks moved. 3 slow ones came from the basement door downstairs. Knock, knock, knock. We froze. 3 more from the attic pull-down stairs in the hallway. Knock, knock, knock. The kids screamed. Tom grabbed the baseball bat. I held them so tight I left marks. Silence for maybe 10 seconds. Then the softest knocking you've ever heard right inside their bedroom from the closet where they used to sleep. Knock, knock, knock. Ava's closet door rattled like someone small was pushing it from inside. Nana's voice came through the wood, muffled, sweet, and freezing. "Leo. Ava, don't be scared. Nana just wants to tuck you in one more time." Tom ripped the bedroom door open and dragged all of us into the hallway. We stood there shaking, staring at the kids' closed bedroom door 20 feet away. The closet inside that room opened by itself. Slow. We heard the little metal hangers clinking. Tiny wet footprints appeared on the hallway carpet, coming toward us. Bare feet, child-sized, leaving dark water that smelled like the cemetery after rain. The footprints stopped right in front of us. Nana's voice was everywhere now, coming from the walls themselves. "You left me out in the cold so long. Now I brought the cold inside with me." The temperature dropped hard. Our breath smoked. Frost crawled across the windows from the inside. Leo looked up at me with tears freezing on his cheeks and said, "Mommy, I can see her breathing in the dark." I looked where he pointed. In the black between the stairs and the ceiling, something pale was moving, in and out, like lungs made of fog. We ran. All 4 of us piled into the car in our pajamas, no shoes, no keys at first. Tom found them on the mat inside the front door, placed neatly side by side, soaking wet. We're at a motel now. The kids finally passed out an hour ago. Tom keeps checking the locks. My phone just buzzed. A new video from the doorbell camera we left behind. It's time-stamped 5 minutes ago. The porch is empty, but inside the house, through the open front door, you can see the hallway. 3 slow knocks are coming from somewhere deep inside, and a small, wet handprint just appeared on the lens from the outside, even though nothing is there. We're never going back. But it's almost midnight again. And the motel door just got 3 slow knocks. Story 5. Come here, sit. Turn off the big light, just the lamp. I need you to listen, because what I'm about to say sounds insane. But it's happening again tonight, and I'm running out of time. My husband Eli and I learned the hard way that between 3 and 4 in the morning, mirrors lie. The first night it happened, I woke up needing water. The bathroom was dark. When I flicked the switch, the mirror didn't show me sleepy and messy-haired. It showed me standing exactly where I was, but my face was already bleeding from a long cut across the cheek. My reflection stared back, terrified, mouthing, "Don't move," over and over. I screamed. Eli ran in. The mirror showed him too. Same position, but his left arm hung wrong, broken, dripping on the tiles. We watched ourselves in the glass start to panic, running in circles inside the reflection, while we stood frozen in real life. We thought it was a nightmare. We went back to bed. Next night, every reflective thing did it. The bedroom window, the black screen of my phone, even the toaster in the kitchen. All of them showed us hours ahead. We saw ourselves dragging something heavy wrapped in bed sheets across the floor, leaving dark smears. We saw ourselves crying, writing on the walls with blood, looking straight at the glass and begging. At exactly 3:59 a.m., the reflections stopped whatever they were doing and ran to the surface. They pressed their palms against the inside of the glass and started pounding. Their mouths moved at the same time, screaming the same words from every mirror, every window, every phone. "Let us out! It's coming! Please, let us out before it gets us!" Eli grabbed a lamp and smashed the bathroom mirror. The reflection me shattered with it, but the pieces on the floor still showed tiny, screaming versions of us trapped inside the shards. We didn't sleep after that. We covered everything shiny with blankets and tape. We sat in the living room with only one dim bulb, holding each other, waiting for 4 o'clock. Tonight is night 4. At 2:58 a.m., the power went out. The whole house went black. We lit candles, but candle flames don't reflect much. We thought we were safe. Then we heard it. Wet footsteps upstairs. Slow. Dragging. Eli looked at me. "That's what we heard in the mirrors last night," he whispered. 3 hours a.m. The candles started flickering even though there was no wind. One by one, the blankets we'd hung over the windows and mirrors slid to the floor by themselves. Every surface woke up. In the TV screen, in the dark window, in the steel kettle, we saw ourselves sitting on this exact couch. But later. Much later. Our future selves were already dead. Eyes wide, throats torn open, holding each other exactly like we were holding each other now. Blood pooled around the couch legs that weren't bloody yet. The dead versions of us looked straight into the glass and started crawling toward it on broken arms, dragging their bodies, leaving streaks. 59 a.m. They reached the inside of the glass and began to hit it from the other side. Harder than last night. The window actually rattled. The phone screen cracked in my hand without me dropping it. Their mouths screamed the same thing, louder, desperate. "Let us out! It's here! It's behind you right now!" I turned. Nothing was behind us, but the candle flames all bent the same direction, like something huge had just breathed on them. Eli stood up, shaking. "We have to break the loop," he said. "We have to do something different from what the reflections did." In the big living room window, the dead versions of us were pointing frantically at the hallway. We ran the other way into the kitchen. We locked the door, pushed the table against it. The microwave door is shiny black glass. It showed us hiding in here, but only for a few seconds. Then the US inside the microwave started screaming as something dark poured into the room like smoke with too many arms. The pounding from every reflection got faster, like a heartbeat. Eli grabbed my face. "Whatever happens, stay with me. We change one thing, maybe we break it." The kitchen window exploded inward. No wind, no rock, just shattered. In 50 seconds, all the reflections went silent at once. In every piece of glass, our dead selves smiled for the first time. They stepped back, making room. Something else moved forward inside the reflections. Tall, wrong joints, too many teeth. It looked out at us and copied our exact positions on the other side of the glass. The clock on the stove clicked to 4 a.m. The candles went out. I'm typing this on my phone in the dark now. The screen is the only light left. And on the screen, right behind the words I'm writing, I can see it standing behind us, waiting. "Whatever you do, if you wake up between 3 and 4, cover every mirror, every window, every shine. Because whatever is coming for us tonight has been watching from the other side for days." And it just learned exactly where we are. Story 6. Sit down. Put your hand on your own chest for a second and count the beats. Good. Remember how that feels. Because what I'm about to tell you will make you doubt every single one from now on. I'm 6 months pregnant. Everything was perfect. The ultrasound yesterday showed one healthy baby girl dancing inside me, heartbeat fast and strong like a hummingbird. The doctor smiled. We cried happy tears. We came home and fell asleep holding each other. Around 2 a.m, I woke up because something was kicking, hard, not the usual gentle flutters. These were punches, slow and heavy, like the baby had grown fists overnight. Ow, I whispered. She's really going for it tonight. My husband, Noah, still half asleep, slid his warm hand over my belly to feel her move. He always does that. He loves it. His hand stopped moving. His eyes opened wide in the dark. There are 2 heartbeats, he said, voice cracking. I laughed nervously. Twins don't just appear at 6 months, babe. No, listen. He pressed harder. I felt it then, the quick little thump, thump, thump of our daughter. And underneath it, something deeper, slower, like a big drum far away. Boom, boom, boom. Too slow for a baby, too powerful. We turned on the lamp. Noah kept his palm flat on my stomach, counting silently. His lips went pale. It's not the baby, he whispered. This one is older. I told him he was scaring me. He didn't answer. He was listening to something I couldn't hear yet. Then his face changed. The color drained completely. It's matching me, he said. I watched his chest rise and fall under his t-shirt. Normal speed. But the slow, deep beat under his hand was speeding up, catching his rhythm exactly. When he breathed in, it breathed in. When he breathed out, it followed. Boom, 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 until it was the same as his own heart. Then it passed him. Faster now, stronger, louder. Noah's eyes filled with terror. It's not in you anymore, he said. It's in me. He grabbed my hand and pressed it to his chest. I felt it instantly. His real heartbeat, quick and frightened, and right beside it, inside the same ribs, that huge, slow thud growing faster, pushing, taking over. Like something enormous was learning how to wear him. He started gasping. It's heavy, he cried. God, it's so heavy in there. I screamed for help, but it was the middle of the night, no neighbors close enough. I dialed 911 with shaking fingers, while Noah curled on his side, clutching his chest. It's stretching, he rasped. It has too many pieces. It's trying to fit. The operator answered. I babbled about heart attack, pregnancy, anything. Noah's eyes rolled back. The deep heartbeat was roaring now, drowning his own. I could hear it without touching him, like a bass drum in the room. Then it stopped. Everything went quiet. Noah sat up slowly. He looked at me and smiled, but it wasn't his smile. It was too calm, too knowing. He put both hands on my belly, gentle, loving, just like always, but his voice came out wrong, layered, like 2 people speaking at once, his and something ancient underneath. Shh, he said. Our baby is perfect, only 1 heartbeat now. I felt her kick, light and normal, nothing else. No second drum. Whatever had been hiding inside me had moved house. Noah stood up, stretched, rolled his shoulders like he was settling into a new coat. I'm starving, he said softly, still smiling that wrong smile. Growing takes so much energy. He walked to the kitchen, humming a lullaby his mother used to sing, one he always swore he hated. I haven't slept. I sit here with my hand on my belly, feeling only our daughter, safe and small. Noah's in the living room watching TV, volume low, eating cereal straight from the box. Every few minutes he calls out, "We're fine, Mommy, we're both fine now." And I hear it, faint but clear, coming from inside his chest, the quick, happy flutter of a tiny baby heart. He's carrying her for me, and whatever is carrying him won't let her go. Story 7. Come here, sit close. If you ever hear something dragging under your bedroom floor, don't go looking for the source. Just move out. Please. We were so happy when we bought the house. Old, cheap, needed paint, but ours. Me and Ryan, first place together. The realtor said it had good bones. We laughed and signed the papers. The first week was perfect. Then the dragging started. Every night around 3, something heavy moved under the floorboards. Thump, drag, thump, drag, like a full trash bag being pulled across dirt. It always started in the hallway, slid under our bed, and stopped right beneath us. Then silence. We told ourselves it was rats, big rats, maybe a possum. Ryan put poison down. The dragging kept coming. After 2 weeks, we tore up the hallway carpet looking for how it was getting in. That's when we found the hatch, a small square door in the floor, painted the same color as the wood, hidden under years of dust. No handle, just a rusty padlock. It wasn't on any house plans. The inspector never mentioned it. We should have left it alone. Ryan got a crowbar. I held the flashlight. The lock snapped easy, like it had been waiting. We lifted the hatch, and a cold, wet smell rolled out. Earth, chemicals, and something sweet rotten. The beam of light showed a narrow crawl space, barely 2 feet high, dirt floor, and pictures. Hundreds of Polaroids pegged to the wooden beams with nails, all facing up toward the gaps in our floorboards. Every single one was us, sleeping. Me on my side, mouth open. Ryan on his back, one arm off the bed. Some taken weeks ago, before we even moved in. Same pajamas, same sheets. Dozens from the last few nights, time stamped in red ink on the white border. Someone had been lying under our bed, night after night, shooting up through the cracks. I dropped the flashlight. Ryan picked it up, shaking, and moved the beam farther in. In the corner sat a plastic tub like photographers use, shallow tray of developer inside. A fresh Polaroid floated face down, rocking gently even though nothing was touching it. Ryan fished it out with trembling fingers. The picture was still pale, colors just coming in. It showed us right then. Ryan kneeling by the hatch, me behind him crying, flashlight beam cutting across the crawl space. The timestamp was 30 seconds ago. We heard the drag again, right under our knees. Something moved in the dark beyond the light, slow, patient. Ryan slammed the hatch and we dragged the heaviest dresser in the house over it. We called the police. They came, looked, took statements, said they'd send someone in the morning to check the crawl space properly. We didn't sleep. We sat in the kitchen with every light on, holding knives like idiots. At 3:07 a.m., the dragging started again, louder, right under the kitchen tiles now. The floor vibrated, then a soft click, like a camera shutter. Another click, and another. We realized the kitchen had gaps too, around the pipes under the cabinets. Something was taking pictures of our feet. We ran outside in our socks and sat in the car until sunrise. When the officers came back with a crawler camera, the hatch was open again. The dresser hadn't moved. Someone had pushed up from below. The crawl space was empty. No photos, no tray, no smell. Just clean dirt. But taped to the underside of the hatch, brand new, was one final Polaroid. It showed us asleep in our car in the driveway, heads against the windows, streetlight on our faces, time stamped 4:12 a.m. We moved out that day, left everything. We're in a hotel now, 3rd floor, no crawl space. But last night, at 3 in the morning, we both woke up at the same time. Under the bed, something dragged once, slow, then a soft click. We haven't looked yet. I'm scared the next picture will show us lifting the bed to see what's underneath. Don't ever buy a house with good bones. Some bones are still using them. For more stories like this, share and subscribe Goofy Horror.